Welcome, everybody. It's good to see y'all here. I'm in a good mood today, but I don't know. I'm in a good mood most days, and I do attribute it to A Course in Miracles, which I've been a student of and teacher of since 2001. I discovered the course in 2001, and I officially became a course teacher back in 2005. So, yeah, I got 20 years as a course teacher, and I have been through this book like every year for an unbelievable 20 years now. And I remember I used to tell my friends, about going through this book multiple times. And I guess they thought I was slow or something, that I had to keep going back and reading it over like maybe I'm dense. But, it's not like that, is it? It's like it gets deeper and more interesting every year, and you come across things that you didn't pick up on before or that makes even more sense this year, although you read it last year and the year before and the year. It's
Are
kind
you kidding me? Sometimes I swear it wasn't in the book last year.
of right. So it's what's so spooky is the words don't change, you change. But what makes it spooky is you change just like Jesus said you would by these teachings. And so, long story short, and Jennifer, for you in particular tonight, since you're new here, it is a very compelling book. It has, all the questions you have. Think about all the questions you have. Who am I? Why am I here? Why does this happen this way? Etc. You got those? This answers every single one. I kid you not. Somebody help me out. Am I right, guys?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yes, you
definitely.
are.
You may not like the answers, but
It's life changing.
they'll ring true, very true. And so, with that introduction, I suggest the best way forward is to just dive in. Now, Jennifer, I'm going to send you our study schedule after we get done tonight so you can see what it looks like. And I'll be happy to entertain any questions about how to navigate it. But where we are today is we are starting chapter 24 in the text. It starts on page 499. And tonight we're doing one lesson. It's lesson 162. And I'm sorry, you have the app, Jennifer, so I don't think you're as concerned about page numbers. And
What app do you have from? Where do you have what app?
I
Is it
have the,
Foundation of Inner Peace?
yes.
yes,
Okay,
yeah. So
great.
you're not concerned so much about page numbers, but we'll make sure you can stay with us as far as that goes. Now, lesson 162 and starting chapter 24 in the text is what we hope to accomplish tonight and then this coming week. But this past week, we covered chapter 23 in the text. It was called The War Against Yourself. And we completed 7 lessons this past week, at least theoretically, okay, according to the schedule. Those lessons were lessons 155 through 161. So generally, before we get started on tonight's study, I ask, are there any questions or comments from this past week's studies? And usually everybody goes silent. What's the case tonight? Questions, comments on chapter 23 or lessons 155 through 161. All right. So, what I thought I'd do, as sometimes I kind of have to do to invite discussion, is I don't know if you remember last week when we started chapter 23, The War Against Yourself, I said, pay special attention to that second section. It's called The Laws of Chaos. Have y'all heard that title? Did you pay attention to it? Jennifer, you never heard of it, so that's okay, all right. But that section was always one of my favorites. In fact, I included it as one of the teachings in my book. I've got a couple of books. The one I did in 2022, it's called Earth School, Why We Think We're Here. And one of the sections was on the laws of chaos. So I thought by way of review, I'd at least pull up, let me show it to you on screen here. This is an excerpt, if I can get it to open. This is an excerpt from my book on the laws from Earth School, but on that section called The Laws of Chaos. And I thought we could do a nice review just looking at what the laws of chaos are. And so here, let me read it to you. That it begins, just what are the laws of chaos? Well, I imagine that by now you're eager to find out. Let's start with a quick summary. Then I'll proceed to offer a more detailed explanation. So I won't do the detailed explanation here, but here's that summary. The 5 laws of chaos, according to Jesus in A Course in Miracles. Jennifer, you know the author of this book is Jesus?
Yes.
All right, good. So we don't have to go back and cover that astounding news, do we? Moving right ahead, I'd just like to get your comments. Law of chaos, number 1. The truth is different for everyone. Law 2, mistakes call for punishment. 3, we think we define how God thinks. We believe we have what we have taken. And chaotic law 5, our brothers stole the key to our happiness. We must get it back. Sounds nuts, doesn't it? That last one? In actuality, all of them are nuts. Let's start with the truth is different for everyone. Have you ever heard anybody that thought that what they thought was true was different from what you thought was true? You ever run into that?
No.
Just a few times.
So why is that an insane notion?
Because truth is truth. It's not my truth or your truth.
A truth that's not always true can't be the truth, can it? Yes, no,
No, it cannot be the truth if it's not always true.
all right. And that's what A Course in Miracles teaches. It's quite different from what we're taught. Law number 2, mistakes call for punishment. Why is that insane? Why doesn't punishment work when people make mistakes?
It's the mistakes a call for correction, and
Right?
that's not correcting it.
Yeah, yeah. So more specifically, let me think about chapter 12. Remember the Holy Spirit's curriculum? And in chapter 12, Jesus says, according to the Holy Spirit, there are only 2 things going on in this world. What are they?
Love or fear.
Okay, what is fear?
Ego, you're operating from the ego?
Okay, let me do it this way. 2 things, and they both have to do with love. There are...
Okay. A call for love or a call for love?
All right, there are expressions of love and calls for love. So when you see someone acting in a way that's not an expression of love, what must it be?
Either a call for their love, my love, or both of us.
Or generically, a call for love. Everything that isn't an expression of love is a call for love. So when you see a brother or sister acting in an unloving way, what is that? A call?
Love.
So what do? Smack them?
Too much.
Our response is an error because we don't understand what is being asked for. How long have we had prisons?
Forever.
When do you expect everybody to be rehabilitated?
Never.
When they take on the role that they did, was it in Hawaii, the Ho'oponopono psychiatrist?
Yes.
Yes.
It's an excellent example of someone who saw truly that the folks were there because they were calling for love. Unlike our society, we mistake calls for love as evil, as bad people. There are no bad people. They're either people who feel loved or people that are calling for love. Do you see how different this is from how our society works? Law number 3, We think we define how God thinks. We metamorphize, is that the right word? You know what?
Anthropomorphize.
Thank you. Anthropomorphize. What does that mean?
God made us in its image and likeness, and we returned the favor. We make God in our image and likeness.
Beautiful, Dee. Jennifer, what she's saying is we try and make God into a person. Remember at church, God was this white dude sitting on the throne up in the sky with a gold crown and purple robes, and God had arms and legs and eyes. And I used to wonder, does this dude have to ever go to the bathroom and stuff? That's anthropomorphizing or personifying. So in the Bible, it says we were made in the likeness and image of God, but we have tried to make God in our image, not only giving it physical characteristics, but giving it a temperament like us. Like God is love, right? But don't piss him off or he'll smite you and your families for generations. Okay, like we get loving, but we can also get angry. And Jesus says, and of course, this is a complete mistake. You've got God all wrong. You say God is love. Let him be. You got that part right. Let him be what he is. Have you ever heard the expression, the fear of God? You should have the fear of God. And if you don't have it, I'll put some of it in there for you. We got God all wrong. God is love, not love and hate. Why can God afford to be loving no matter what?
Because God is love.
And what else is there?
Nothing.
So he has no opposition. If something appears to be opposing God, right away, God's not worried because it can't be real, can it? There is nothing else but what the Creator is. And that's what A Course in Miracles teaches. Law number 4, we believe we have what we have taken. Think of it this way. Possession. That's what this is talking about. Okay, I can take this from you and it becomes mine. Great example is our attitude with Native Americans. First, I'm sure it took them a long time to get over the shock that somebody had the audacity to think that they could own the land, that they owned nature, that they could carve it up and possess it for themselves, what belonged to everyone. But the Europeans, the other folks, they had a different attitude about that. They thought possession was a reality. If a thing can only be in one place at a time, it's mine. That's insane. Law number 5. Now, this is the really good one. Our brother stole the key to our happiness. We must attack to get it back. Is that the ultimate paranoia? That you think your brother's withholding something from you? Something that belongs to you in truth? It's going off the deep end, isn't it? But do you see how these things become progressive in the move toward insanity? These are the laws of chaos. And I say much more about that in the book. But is that what you got out of going over that and your reading about these laws? That's what I had to offer by way of review. What do you think? I'd love to hear your comments, my friend. Oh, speechless again. God, even D is speak. Hey, listen.
I was on mute. Sorry.
Oh, all right. Now that's more like it. Your comments, dear.
I think it's the laws of the ego's belief system. That's what the ego operates under, these laws.
Yeah. And
And we might say the laws of fear would be another.
Yeah.
you know, so how can our world become a world in which problems are solved if it operates on principles that are not reasonable, that are actually insane? That's why they're called chaotic laws. They don't resolve problems, they create more. And so I thought that was a very interesting read. And as I said before, one of my favorites. It was certainly eye-opening. Any other comments from you? Okay. All right. Jennifer, are you staying around after seeing how crazy we get here right off the bat?
I've seen crazier.
By the way, I met Jennifer at one of my social groups I go to. It's called Meaningful Conversations in Ann Arbor. And it's sponsored by the Baha'i Faith.
Yeah.
Are you seeing any differences between the Course and Baha'i as yet? Do they contradict each other as yet, or it's too soon to tell?
It's too soon to tell.
Okay.
So is that the religion? Is that your religion?
No, I just like being with like-minded people.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
me
and
too.
I enjoy the talks.
Yeah, me too. And I found it on Facebook and said, let me get out and check it out. And I'm glad I did. It runs about an hour and a half every Friday.
Yep.
And
So it's online?
no,
Or
we meet live
okay.
in
When you
person.
said you found it on Facebook, that's
I
what threw
did.
me.
I did,
Okay.
but it's to a live meeting.
Lovely.
Well, Karen, I was hoping you'd be here. What's happening, my friend? How are you? You want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm good. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm late.
That's all right. We're so glad to see you. Thank you for joining us. We were just in our review period. We were going over chapter 24. And I just picked out section Roman numeral 2 called
Okay.
The Laws of Chaos. And
Yes.
we're just doing a quick review of the 5
Okay.
chaotic laws. And I took the excerpt from from my book. So
Okay.
we were just finishing that up. Jennifer Vandekar is new here with us tonight. I sure hope you'll come back. And Karen is our other newbie. This is
All
her
right.
first time through the course. So now, Karen, you're not alone. You got even more company. It's good to see you. I'm going to close this out and ask if you have any questions or comments about our workbook lessons this past week. Lessons 155 to 161. Any comments or questions about that?
Well, I like lesson 155. It says, I will step back and let him lead the way. Him is God.
Yeah.
And it's important to know that we don't know all the answers. So we need to sometimes get out of the way and let God, not sometimes, all the time.
All right. I was just going to offer that too, not to correct you. 155, one of my favorite lessons as well. And all right, we are official. It's taken a while, but she's here, folks.
Hildegard.
Yep. All right, let's see if she's coming on. All right. Gee, we were out here floundering, and all right, what's happening, Hilda? You good?
I had some issues,
Oh, gee.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
so
All right.
I couldn't help
Anything
it.
we can help you with or anything?
No. It's all good, actually.
Oh, yeah. Everything is going according to plan. But we
Yes,
are
it is.
exceedingly glad that you're here. We just
you.
finished a quick review of one of the sections in chapter 23. By the way, if you didn't notice, that was one of the shorter chapters in the course. And man, we could use that. I think it only had 4 sections, and we've been doing those like chapter 14, 15, 16. All remember where it was just long and stuff. So you'll appreciate chapter 23 because it only had 4 sections. Tonight, we're going to start a new chapter, but why don't we just get into that? On our agenda, we're starting with our workbook lesson tonight. And workbook lesson is number 162. And it's on page 307. Jennifer, I'm sure you can find it on your app. You're able to navigate that pretty well by now. By the way, I just saw they came out with their first Spanish version of the app also. But be that as it may, let me give you a little overview. In general, we read kind of a paragraph at a time. We go around and each person reads a paragraph. And when it comes to our workbook lessons, we include a short meditation period with every lesson. So after we read through the lesson, we'll do maybe, 6-7 minutes of meditation. I'll put some music on behind that. And then after that, we'll move into our text reading. And as I said, we'll just go around reading and discussing, each person doing a paragraph. So in order to do that, we need to assign our reader list. And Dee, would you be our first reader, please?
Sure.
And Jennifer, you want to try your hand at reading with us? Okay. So Jennifer's 2, Joan is 3, Ron is 4, Sherilyn is 5, Karen is 6, Hilda is reader 7.
I'd like to pass, please.
Okay. So Karen is 6, and she'll be the last reader, and we will start the rotation over. So we are on page 307 in the workbook, lesson 162, and Miss Newman's going to get us started with this.
I am as God created me. This single thought, held firmly in the mind, would save the world. From time to time, we will repeat it as we reach another stage in learning. It will mean far more to you as you advance. These words are sacred, for they are the words God gave in answer to the world you made. By them it disappears, and all things seen within its misty clouds and vaporous illusions vanish as these words are spoken, for they come from God.
Thank you, Dee. Jennifer, paragraph 2, please.
Here is the word by which the Son became his Father's happiness, his love, and his completion. Here, creation is proclaimed and honored as it is. There is no dream these words will not dispel, nor the thought of sin, and no illusion which the dream contains that will not fade away before their might. They are the trumpet of awakening that sounds around the world. The dead awake in answer to its call, and those who live and hear this sound will never look on death.
All right, so I think we're off to a good start here. Any comments so far? Have you seen this lesson title before?
I thought it seems familiar.
Okay. Yeah. Lesson 94, I think, is the first place it appears. It's also, as Jesus advises in the first paragraph, it's going to show up again at least a couple more times. As a matter of fact, it is the most repeated lesson in the course. Why do you think it's Jesus repeats it so often?
It's so important, and we don't really feel that way.
I'm sorry, you said it's so important.
It's so important, and we actually don't get it.
Yeah. In paragraph 2, it says, here is the word by which the Son became his Father's happiness. What's here? Or what's here is the word? What?
The lesson title?
Yeah.
Oh, I am as God created me are the words by which the Son becomes his Father's happiness, etc., and a lot of other amazing things come forth from these words too. Like, it's really a big deal. As a matter of fact, in sentence 5, oh my God, the dead awaken to its call. What? It has something to do with understanding that they are God created them. Why would that wake up the dead? I'm just asking, right?
The next sentence says it, and those who live and hear this word, the sound will never look on death.
Why?
Because we're actually
what
eternal
sound?
beings.
Ah, all right. Do you see why I'm so happy Dee decided to join us on Tuesdays? He's one of our experienced folks, and along with some others, is a course teacher. So I said, yeah, come on Tuesdays. We benefit from your expertise. What God creates is eternal. Where's death now?
It ain't.
Okay.
Fine.
Well, wait, I saw him
It's in
very
our mind.
okay. Boy,
We believe in it.
you getting deep already there, Karen. But wouldn't you say, what do you mean there's no death? I saw them bury their body. I went to the funeral last week. What do you mean there is no death? I saw him put that body in the ground.
Did he
Explain.
see the soul? Did he see a soul going in the ground?
All right, Marty, you, right?
So,
Yeah. Because I am not a body. If you look in part 2 of the workbook, oh God, I forget which number, it says, what is the body? Remember that one? The body is a fence the Son of God imagines he has placed around himself to separate his self from his self.
Ooh.
Self small s from his self capital S. Why would anyone want to separate their small s self from their grand capital S self? Why? Because they're crazy. The word the Course uses most often is insane. Why would you want to split off from a glorious eternal being into something that's limited and dies? What would you want a body for? Anyhow, I digress as usual. Other comments, paragraphs 1 or 2. Then we're up to my friend Joni. Paragraph 3, my friend.
Okay. Holy indeed is he who makes these words his own, arising with them in his mind, recalling them throughout the day, at night bringing them with him as he goes to sleep. His dreams are happy and his rest secure, his safety certain and his body healed, because he sleeps and wakens with the truth before him always. He will save the world because he gives the world what he receives each time he practices the words of truth.
And Ron?
Today we practice simply, for the words we use are mighty and they need no thoughts beyond themselves to change the mind of him who uses them. So wholly is it changed that it is now the treasury in which God places all gifts and all his love to be distributed to all the world, increased in giving,
Can you
kept complete because its sharing is unlimited. And thus you learn to think with God. Christ's vision has restored your sight by salvaging your mind.
Thank you, Ron. Comments? This is a powerful statement, apparently.
Yeah.
Jesus seems to think a lot of it. Don't you think?
Mm. For me, the important line is that last line. Well, the last two sentences in paragraph 4. And thus you learn to think with God. Christ's vision has restored your sight by salvaging your mind. That's the part of us that needs salvaging.
Yeah. Why that part?
Because
the only
that's
part that counts. That's the only real part.
Say it again.
I said, that's the only real part, mind.
Boy, that's great. She's getting it right. That's the only real part. Um, Jennifer, we talk a lot about Hermes Trismegistus. He was I don't know if he was a historical figure or purely mythical figure or what, but Hermes Trismegistus in the Greek, but you may have also heard of him in Egyptian as the god Thoth, Thoth. What is said is that this character interacted with people like Abraham from the Old Testament of the Bible and influenced all of the Hermetic religions that came from the Abrahamic traditions, Judaism, Christianity, all those things. One of the things we'll be doing on Monday nights for ACIM Talks is studying a little book called The Kabbalion, Aybalion. And these are the 7 Hermetic principles. The reason I'm telling you all of this now is that principle number 1 in the Kabbalion is the law of mentalism. Everything is mental. Mental will manifest, but its source is always mental. Do you see why thinking is the key to everything? The mental activity of thinking produces manifestations. The Course says, like the Kabbalion, that the world
Hang on a second, Dorothy. Hang on.
you see is an outpicturing of your thoughts. How am I doing?
yes.
So in paragraph 4, I'm sorry. Yeah, in paragraph 4, sentence 3, so wholly is it changed that it is now the treasury in which God places all his gifts and all his love to be distributed to all the world. And it goes on, right? What's it? So holy is it changed. What's it?
Where are you?
The mind.
Step 4, sentence 3.
Oh, okay.
What's it? So
The mind. The mind is changed.
beautiful. I'm surprised, Dee. Last night you were quoting workbook lesson 79 and 80. Where did God put the solution to the problem?
In our right mind.
All right. Okay. And so you see, solutions occur at the level of mentalism. If you want to really change something, don't change the physical, because the physical are the manifestations, the effects of a cause. If your cause, if you believe in evil, it will manifest because thoughts have power. If you believe in love, that will manifest too. And I'm saying all of this to help you understand some other statements being made here about why your change of mind influences the whole world. Minds are connected. They're not separate like bodies. I didn't say your brain, did I? I said your mind.
Yes.
And there's a difference there. The brain belongs to the physical image, but we're more than physical. I know at church, Reverend Cindy's always talking about we're both human and divine, right, guys? Those that go to my church, she's always talking about that. What incredible creatures that are divine creatures. So you can get on this wavelength with Jesus when it talks about how extraordinary changing your mind to remember I am as God created me. I am not as I was taught to be. I am as God created me. I was poorly taught, but you can't change what I am, can you? Especially if it's eternal. So these are some very powerful messages. Let's finish up with 5 and 6 here. I've got our next reader is Sherilyn White and followed by Karen.
Hey, we honor you today. Yours is the right to perfect holiness you now accept. With this acceptance is salvation brought to everyone. For who could cherish sin when holiness like this has blessed the world? Who could despair when perfect joy is yours, available to all as remedy for grief and misery, all sense of loss, and for complete escape from sin and guilt?
Thank you. Karen?
And who would not be brother to you now? You, his Redeemer and his Savior, who would fail to welcome you into his heart with loving invitation, eager to unite with one like him in holiness? You are as God created you. These words dispel the night, and darkness is no more. The light is come today to bless the world, for you have recognized the Son of God, and in that recognition is the world's.
Oh, any comments from you before we go into our meditation period? All right. Well, let's just take a few minutes, reflect on the title of this lesson. Let related thoughts come to you. Let unrelated thoughts come to you too, but make sure you just let those pass on so that your main focus is on I am as God created me and thoughts that are related to that. I've got a problem here. Bear with me. Hold on. Huh? My preparation for tonight is not what it ought to be. All right. Guys, you got to give me a minute here. I messed this up big time.
No problem.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to take you with me on this journey of something I should have done a long time ago. And that is get to our meditation music for tonight. And that means I've got to go to YouTube. All right. All right, all right, all right. You know, everything runs slow when Zoom is on anyway. I hope I can find it. Bear with me. All right, so what I'm gonna do is go here. That's not what I wanted to do either. All right, this is not working, is it? So what I want to do, I am as God created. I am as God created me. Thank goodness I'm saved. Oh man. Woo, I can exhale because I am as God created me. Debbie's not here tonight. I used to say, what could possibly go wrong? What could really happen to me? And Debbie would always say, nothing. Why is that? I am as God created me. He created me eternally. What is there to fear? Can a fervent dream really hurt you? And now we're going, whew, thank goodness it's all a dream. I'm going to be like Dorothy and wake up back at home in Kansas in my warm bed with Auntie M and I am as God created me. Is that helpful tonight?
Yes.
Get your spirits up because, man, there's a lot of tough stuff going on out there. It appears, doesn't it? So, with that said, let's move into our text reading tonight and see if we can do some justice to that. We're starting chapter 24, and it is on page 499. And Karen was our last reader, right? Since Hilda's not reading. So let's go back to D and get started there. Jennifer, are you there? Can you find it? Chapter 24 in the text. It's called the Goal of Specialness.
Let me see if I can find this.
Sure. All right. Jennifer is working on a phone app, so we don't have page numbers or anything, but it's in the text, book 1, chapter 24. Take some pressure off. Dee, why don't you go ahead and get started?
We don't want to wait for Jennifer?
No, I think we'll take some pressure off her. Get
Okay.
started. You join us when you're ready, Jennifer, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
The Goal of Specialness. Introduction. Forget not that the motivation for this course is the attainment and the keeping of the state of peace. Given this state, the mind is quiet, and the condition in which God is remembered is attained. It is not necessary to tell him what to do. He will not fail. Where he can enter, there he is already. And can it be he cannot enter where he wills to be? Peace will be yours because it is his will. Can you believe a shadow can hold back the will that holds the universe secure? God does not wait upon illusions to let him be himself, no more his son. They are. And what illusions that idly seems to drift between them has the power to defeat what is their will.
Thank you. Let's continue. You find it yet, Jennifer?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Can you do paragraph 2 then?
To learn this course requires willingness to question every value that you hold. Not one can be kept hidden and obscure, but it will jeopardize your learning. No belief is neutral. Everyone has the power to dictate each decision you make. For a decision is a conclusion based on everything that you believe. It is the outcome of belief and follows it as surely as does suffering follow guilt and freedom sinlessness. There is no substitute for peace. What God creates has no alternative. The truth arises from what he knows, and your decisions come from your beliefs as certainly as all creations rose in his mind because of what he knows.
Thank you. Did you know that the motivation for learning this course is peace? Yes, no? You already knew that, right?
Yeah,
What was that?
yes.
It's a pretty big book just to get peaceful. Wow. It seems like underwhelming that you would devote such a large writing to something as mundane, we think, as peace. Why is peace important? Why does Jesus think peace is important enough that if I can get you to attain it and keep it, amazing things will start happening? What's so important about peace that we do this whole writing for that purpose? Am I understanding this right?
I think so.
I think because we're learning that it comes from within ourselves.
Tell me more.
And because it comes from within ourselves, it's attainable because we're not dependent on any outer person, place, thing, situation, circumstance to maintain it
So,
because it's an inside job.
and so, what does peace bring forth? Is there a byproduct that
Love and
comes from
compassion.
love, compassion? Yes.
I think it helps you to connect with your mind.
Oh, we're hitting on it now. Do you remember in the introduction to A Course in Miracles, it says something about explaining. Here, let me just read it. Oh, damn it. Man, I've been doing this too long. Bear with me. All right. It says the course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. So, what is the course trying to do? It's in the next sentence in this introduction.
Remove all our blocks to love's presence, the truth of our being.
So, in Jim's language, if I can get y'all to calm down to all the nonsense that you are influenced by, if I can just get you to stop focusing on that crap, you can experience what you truly are. And in that understanding, you'll see how contradictory to truth is everything you've been taught, starting from that you are an individual. You're not a freaking individual. Who told you that? Well, some would say it starts with an E.
The ego.
Yeah, and this book is famously called The Tiny Mad Idea, Jennifer, that you could be separate and apart from your source and from your brothers and sisters, and that you were a separate, autonomous being with your own separate thoughts, your own private universe, your own separate heaven. It might sound like a good idea, but crazy ideas like that tear heaven apart if they could. They would literally tear heaven apart. Heaven is produced from wholeness, oneness, completeness, all that is ness. And this completeness has a synergistic effect. What is a synergistic effect?
Puts everything together.
Where the
Pulls everything
sum
together.
is equal. Say that again.
Synergy means bringing together.
But when you
Right.
bring it together, it has this phenomenal effect that we call synergy, where the sum is equal to more than its individual parts. It's why A plus B does not equal AB, it equals
C.
a whole new thing. That's what happens. And when you have wholeness, it produces something this book calls holy.
Holiness.
The synergistic effect is called holiness. That is its protection, is itself. Do you see what a ludicrous idea it is to think that you can be separate? Anyhow, that's what I got from that first paragraph. Let's get back onto it because, as usual, Jim's talking too much. Comments from you, paragraphs 1 or 2 in this introduction. In paragraph 2, sentence 1, it says, to learn this course requires willingness to question how many values?
Everything.
All of them.
You mean no exception?
No exceptions.
But what if I believe in God and love God before I got to this course? Surely that's an exception to this, isn't it?
No, means you're on the way.
Okay. Okay. So what it's basically saying is the gateway to heaven is I do not know anything. Ignorance is bliss in this sense. Yeah, the world teaches you you're supposed to know things, right? And make good judgments, right? This teaches you to let judgment go, and you'll get everything your heart has ever desired if you stop judging. Why should I stop judging? Because I'm totally not qualified. are you? Lesson 135, one of my favorite lines, it says, a healed mind does not plan. It carries out the plans given to it through a wisdom not its own. Woo. So here we are saying, if I can get you to be at peace, you'll become aware of this wisdom. Where did you find it? Within you.
Within.
In yourself.
Okay. Let's read a little more, and I know we're coming up on closing time, but let's get into specialness as a substitute for love. Joan, I believe, is our next reader.
Hmm. To learn this course requires willingness
Wait,
to
hold on.
question every
Oh, no, no,
value that you
Joan.
hold.
Didn't we already read all of that?
Yeah, the next
Yeah.
paragraph.
Sam,
Oh, we
let's get
did?
into
Okay.
section one.
It's the next one, eh?
Yes, ma'am.
Specialness as a substitute for love. Love is extension. To withhold the smallest gift is not to know love's purpose. Love offers everything forever. Hold back but one belief, one offering, and love is gone because you asked a substitute to take its place. And now must war, the substitute for peace, come with the one alternative that you can choose for love. You're choosing it as giving it all the reality it seems to have.
Thank you. Ron, paragraph two.
Beliefs will never openly attack each other because conflicting outcomes are impossible. But an unrecognized belief is a decision to war in secret, where the results of conflict are kept unknown and never brought to reason to be considered sensible or not. And many senseless outcomes have been reached, and meaningless decisions have been made and kept hidden to become beliefs now given power to direct all subsequent decisions. Mistake you not the power of these hidden warriors to disrupt your peace, for it is at their mercy while you decide to leave it there. The secret enemies of peace, your least decision to choose attack instead of love, unrecognized and swift to challenge you to combat and to violence far more inclusive than you think are there to be are there by your election. Do not deny their presence nor their terrible results. All that you can be denied is their reality, but not their outcome.
Yeah, that's a long paragraph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought so.
A lot of brother talk, too. Anybody want to venture to make any sense out of, well, let's start with the easy one, paragraph one. Love is extension to withhold the smallest gift is not to know love's purpose. No comment? What happens to something that you receive in a closed loop? What happens when you give it away and you're in a closed loop? Doesn't it come back to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Where else could it go? Where else could it go?
And can we really give it away?
Yeah, it's almost as insane as trying to possess a land. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Uh, I'll offer this. I used to do it with my Sunday school class. You've heard this before, some of you. When it comes to giving and receiving, it involves three parties. Most of you know about two of the parties involved in giving and receiving. You know about the giver, right? And you know about the receiver. But the third party that most of us don't really pay attention or even consider is who gave it to, where did the giver get it? And for what purpose? What purpose was it given to the giver? For what purpose? To be shared in the closed loop. It comes back to you exponentially. The more current you have flowing out and coming back in and increasing magnitude, and glory increases through sharing. Here we are. We're back at this synergistic effect, this closed loop cycle of giving and receiving. When you receive a gift and you don't share it, but you choose to keep it all for your little old pitiful selfish self, you start gumming up the works of the system. Love is extension. To withhold the smallest gift is not to know love's purpose. Is that helpful? Love is always about giving, because giving and receiving are the same thing. As long as I share what comes in, I get more from the source. When I don't share, I block more incoming to me. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does.
When you understand more about how the system works, and you heard the Course say many times that giving and receiving are one. Maybe when you understand three parties, that helps understand it better. In paragraph 2, I'm only going to do that because we're starting to wrap up about that long paragraph. In paragraph 2, do you see the word unrecognized? Do you see it unrecognized or hidden, or we've talked about this on ACIM Talks, how you can maintain two thought systems as though each of them were true. Remember, the truth is different for everyone. You can maintain that if you keep them apart. But if you don't keep them apart, but continue to bring them to the light and integrate them, when you put them together, the falsity of one and the truth of the other can clearly be seen. You can serve two masters, But when you bring them together and finally understand that these two masters are asking you to do exactly opposite things, both cannot stand. You're going to have to choose one. You can play with it if you keep it hidden and apart and unrecognized. But like it says in that sentence 2, in paragraph 2, but an unrecognized belief is a decision to war in secret, where the results of the conflict are kept unknown and never brought to reason to be considered sensible or not. The falsity of one of these will show. If you bring darkness to light, what will happen to the darkness?
Disappear.
Disappear.
If you keep them apart, you have some light and some darkness. So which one is true? Well, our world teaches they're both true. Good and evil, light and dark, right? Good, okay. But if you bring untruth to truth, what will happen to the untruth? If you bring untruth to the truth, what will happen to the untruth?
It'll become true.
Light.
It'll disperse. It'll be dissolved. Just like when you bring darkness to light, who's going to win? The light or the darkness?
The light.
All the time?
Yes.
Yes.
All the time.
So the reason you're able to maintain it as two is because of your refusal to bring them together to see which stands the test of truth. Darkness cannot withstand the truth. Lies cannot stand up to the truth. Do you see what I mean? That's where he's headed, I believe, in this discussion. And it'll specifically be about specialness, about me being better than you, so I'm special. But so is the converse of that. Some of us love to be less than others. Your ego doesn't care as long as you can be special better than or special worse than, as long as you're special and can either say poor me or you other poor peasants out there that are not as good as me. Either of those is the wrong side of the truth.
What does the first sentence mean in paragraph 2? Police will never openly attack each other because conflicting outcomes are impossible.
They will only do it if you keep them apart. If you don't look at your beliefs in total, in one cloth, it can appear to be more than one truth. There won't be any attack if you bring them in the open. There won't be a conflict because only one will stand.
Okay.
See? We all right?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. How about the rest of you here? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Jennifer, I'm scared to ask. Any comments? We're getting ready to close out tonight.
Oh.
That's okay. That's a good sign because these folks still get speechless too. So
All the
I don't
time.
take that as a negative at all, but I'm so glad you come out and join us. I'm sorry we had to just throw you in here, but please feel free to come back. We'd love to have you. And everybody else, final comments or questions before we leave?
It was good.
Yeah. Dee, it's a real treat to have you here on Tuesday night. So I look forward to continuing with that.
Thank you.
Now,
Good to see everyone.
Yes, Dee,
yes,
welcome.
yes. And Jennifer, we close with a lot of us are from the Unity Church. Like I go to Unity of Livonia and Ron, Unity of Royal Oak, and a lot of us are from Unity of Livonia. And in Unity, we say this prayer of protection when we close our services. And so we've gotten into the habit of closing with that here. Hilda's going to close us out with that. And just give it a listen if you've never heard it before. And all we do is she says stuff and then we repeat it, right, Hilda?
Absolutely. But only the second part.
Only the second part. So give a listen. I'm sure you'll catch on, Jennifer. Hilda, if you close us out, please.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And now you repeat with me. I am the light of God.
I am the
light of
The
God.
light of God.
I am the love of God.
I
I
am
am the love of God.
I am the power of God.
I
I
am
am the power of God.
I am the presence of God.
I
I
am
am the
presence
presence
of God.
of God.
Therefore,
Therefore,
wherever I am,
wherever I am,
God is.
God is.
God is.
Yes.
And all is well.
And
All
is
All is well.
well.
There is nothing to fear.
there is
There
There's
is
nothing
nothing
to
to fear.
There is only love.
There is
There is only
love.
love.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I am a spirit, not a body, and my nature is love. And that's the truth. Don't get tricked. Thank you for being here. See you all soon, okay? Have a
Thank
good
you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you,
Jennifer,
Jim.
glad to have you with us.
Yes. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a blessed week, everybody. Love you.